Hi, blessings upon everybody today. Hi, I'm Juliana. I go by Light of Wonder. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I love to share from my heart today because I found that this is what's led me to the other side. I didn't come from free love. I came from earned love, so I was really scared of facing my fears. And those fears lie with rejection, not being accepted, and abandonment, right? So we would basically hang out with the first bad apple that would accept us. And usually the ones that accept us first can actually, they sense our fear. So it's important for us to be compassionate and empathetic and honest and genuine and open our hearts to everybody that we cross paths with. And when I say open our hearts, I'm talking about speak from your heart, lean into love. Don't think about what you're going to say, just say it, you know? For a long time, my perception of reality was based off of how other people perceived me. So I was always scanning up my surroundings, hesitating on what I would say, when I would say it, and I was afraid of rejection, not being accepted, and abandoned. So this reflected my reality. But getting to the other side, I've found out that the more vulnerable we are, the more protected we are, because people who can't be vulnerable are gonna run away. People who can't be vulnerable lack compassion and empathy, and it makes them extremely uncomfortable. Love is uncomfortable for the lack of compassion and empathetic soul. I was surrounding myself with people that lacked compassion and empathy because I did not love myself. I neglected my feelings and emotions, and I found out that emotions are indicators, guys. I didn't know this. I sit and read these little children books, right? And it talks about emotions keep us safe. And I'm just now figuring this out. Emotions keep us safe, guys. Emotions are there to protect us and to keep us safe. And if we are neglecting our feelings, if we're sabotaging our feelings, we might not be safe, because these emotions don't come up when you are neglecting your feelings and emotions. If you're drinking large quantities of alcohol, if you are inhaling vapes and smoking cigarettes, when you're stressed out, you're not going to be able to identify the emotion that's coming up. But what you really need to be doing is expressing that emotion. That's what's changed for my life, guys. I express myself today, whether it be through dance, art. Art, I guess dance is an art form, yeah. But music, entertainment, dance. Another expression that I like too is write. But movement has been the game changer for me. It's all about getting those anxious emotions out of our bodies. Because what happens over time if we don't get those emotions up, if we're vaping, if we're smoking, if we're drinking, if we're doing drugs, these emotions are going to stay stored in our body, and we are going to be on high alert, and we are going to be anxious, walking around anxiously, attracting fearful experiences to us. And you know, yesterday was a really good example, because when the police officer got out of her car, I was totally in a place of like, hey, everything's good. Like, why is she pulling me over? You know, I'm really known in the community for spreading love. And I don't know what I did wrong, you know? And her reaction was absolutely fear-based. And it's really dangerous, right? When we're not processing our feelings and emotions, because she could have pulled out a gun on me out of fear because of me not being in fear anymore. It's so important, guys, that we learn to process our emotions, because we can identify a situation as being harmful when it's completely just love. I used to think that love was crazy and creepy and weird. Like, if someone was staring at me, I would think that they're trying to be a pedophile, or they're trying to they would make me feel really uncomfortable. But I found out they were actually present. They were in the present moment observing their surroundings. We actually are not safe and protected and comfortable whenever we are in a situation where we are neglecting our feelings and emotions. If we're walking around unconsciously, we're not observant of our surroundings. We're not aware of our surroundings. Whenever we're observant and aware and conscious of our environment and our surroundings, we can actually prevent ourselves from being in harm. We can de-escalate a situation by being the observer. You know, sometimes I believe that these police officers come from a place of fear, and it can actually create an overreactive response where it causes more bad than good. I don't know. I had to process those feelings yesterday because this lady was in a total state of fear. And when she got aggressive with me, that's when my fearful instinct kicked in. But originally, when I got out of the car, I was in a place of peace. So I'm grateful that she didn't overreact to the point of pulling a gun on me. But this is why it's extremely important as a police officer to process your feelings and emotions. Because the last thing you want to do is overreact and be powerful and dominating and controlling with one of the people you pull over. Because you're coming from a place of fear instead of love. Think about it this way. If we are just more loving and more acknowledging of our neighbor in the present moment, and we help them feel acknowledged and seen, we might prevent that person from making a crazy decision because they felt acknowledged and seen and heard. That's where people go do bad things, is when they don't feel seen, when they feel all alone. Anyways, I'm grateful to be alive today. I'm grateful that I get to smile today, that I got to the other side of addiction, that I feel and express my emotions today. And I hope that people understand the importance of expressing our emotions, feeling our emotions, sitting in our emotions. Because fear is an illusion that's been created from past experiences, people, places, and we have to go in and lean into our fear by being love and light in the present moment. That's the way we get to the other side of fear. Have a beautiful day.